Thomas here with Much Props, going to give you another how-to video. Today I am making something from Adventure Time. I don't think I've made anything from it before. I recently watched the series within the past year or so, all the seasons, and I really enjoyed it. I had a friend suggest it, and she was spot on in thinking that I would like it because I did. It was right up my alley. If you're not familiar with the show, it's about a boy and his dog and the adventures that they go on, Jake and Finn. So I am going to make one of Finn's swords. There are a bunch of different ones that he has throughout the seasons, and I am picking this one because I think it looks cool. And because I think I can make it out of some pretty simple materials. I'm going to use only XPS foam and duct tape. And hopefully we'll get something that looks cool. So without further ado, let's make Finn's sword from Adventure Time. Let's get to building. The sword build itself is pretty simple, so I wanted to kind of talk about something important that's been on my mind recently with this build to also go along with describing the clips. I cut a couple of rectangles out of 2 layers of XPS insulation foam to make the sword. No patterns, just looking at a picture and making it up as I go. If you're not familiar, Adventure Time is an animated fantasy adventure series set in the magical land of Ooo, a strange post-apocalyptic world filled with candy people, talking animals, wizards, and bizarre creatures. The story follows Finn, a brave human boy, and his best friend and adoptive brother Jake, a magical dog with abilities to stretch and shapeshift. Together they go on adventures that range from fighting monsters and rescuing kingdoms to exploring ancient mysteries and helping friends with surprising, relatable problems. While the show begins as a lighthearted comedy full of silly humor, it gradually evolves into a deeper story about friendship, growing up, love, loss, identity, and the passage of time. Beneath its colorful, whimsical surface is an expansive world with rich lore, reoccurring characters, and emotional story arcs, an adventure story of friendship.
Did you know there are more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand in the sky?
After cutting in the angles, I take a piece of sandpaper glued to a piece of wood and even out the bevels on the sword. I also cut in some battle damage that the sword has on both sides. When I decided to build Finn's sword out of nothing more than XPS foam, glue, and some duct tape, I couldn't help but think about what the sword actually represents. Sure, it's a fantasy prop from a cartoon, but Adventure Time was never really about swords or monsters. At its heart, it was about friendship. Growing up making friends wasn't exactly easy for me. I was the nerdy, poor art kid. While others seemed to naturally fit into a group, I was usually the one drawing, building something weird, or obsessing over whatever game or movie had captured my imagination that week. I always felt like I was speaking a language nobody else understood. So needless to say, I spent a lot of time in school as a child, off to the side on the playground, at recess or lunch, sketching in a book.
Thanks, guys. Your blood oath is fulfilled.
With the 3 parts carved, I am ready to hot glue them together. I added a few little metal pins to help give the joint more structure and help with alignment. Things got a little easier while I got older and started playing sports in junior high. Suddenly I had something in common with people and doors started opening, but even then I always felt like I had one foot in two different worlds. I loved competition, but I also wanted to go home and build costumes, make props, and spend hours creating things that probably looked ridiculous to everyone else. The funny thing is, I don't think that feeling ever really goes away. As an adult, people assume making friends gets easier. In my experience, it's gotten harder. Most people wouldn't believe this if I said it, but I'm an introvert by nature. I've gotten pretty good at pretending to be outgoing. I can hold conversations, joke around, and meet new people without others realizing how much energy it actually takes out of me. But the truth is, social situations still wear me out. There's always that little voice in my head wondering if I'm saying the wrong thing or if I'm being too weird.
Are you really here, or are you like an eye floater?
For further reinforcement to make a shiny blade, I'm using metal duct tape to cover every surface. I tried to limit the wrinkles the best I could, so I'm sure you were probably not expecting to have a serious talk as I build a cartoon sword. Sometimes a topic gets in your mind and you just want to talk about it, and this is why friendship is what I wanted to talk about. Maybe you know that feeling too. That's why real friendship matters so much. A good friend doesn't expect you to be someone else. They don't need you to tone down your excitement over a new hobby or pretend you're cooler than you are. They see all the weird little pieces that make you who you are and somehow decide that those are the reasons they want to stick around. They're the people who answer your texts, calls, or whatever form of communication you can. The ones who show up when life gets messy. The people who cheer louder when you succeed than you do for yourself. Adventure Time really did get that right. Finn wasn't the strongest because he had a sword. He wasn't the strongest because Jake was always there. Sometimes Jake had the perfect advice, and sometimes he made things worse before making them better. But he always showed up. That's what friendship looks like. It's not perfection, it's presence.
I love you, everything burrito.
Now I am scuffing up the metal foil so that gold spray paint will adhere to it. While the sword has little weight, oftentimes the emotional things we carry can be a little too much. A friend is someone willing to carry part of the weight when life gets too heavy. Maybe that's why building props have always meant more to me than just making cool replicas. You start with materials that don't look like much. A few foam sheets, some glue, a roll of duct tape. On their own, they're just random pieces. But with enough patience, enough mistakes, and enough time, they become something stronger than anyone could expect. Friendships work the same way. They build one conversation at a time, one shared laugh, one late night phone call, one favor, one road trip, one I've got your back after another. Eventually, you realize those little moments became something that can carry you through some really hard seasons.
Unacceptable!
A solid coat of gold spray paint. Sorry, no plasti dip here. I went to the dollar store down the road for some black duct tape, and while searching, I found the perfect jewels for my sword. I just clipped off the metal hooks and sanded a recess for them to sit in. If you're anything like me, maybe you've spent years wondering if you're too weird. Maybe you've hidden parts of yourself because it felt easier than risking people not understanding. Adventure Time taught me something I wish I would have learned as a kid. The goal isn't to find people exactly like you. It's to find people who let you be exactly you. The ones who celebrate your weirdness instead of tolerating it. The ones who help you build ridiculous things out of foam because they know it makes you happy. The ones who remind you that even in a world full of candy kingdoms, vampires, and talking dogs, the greatest adventure is finding people who make you feel like you belong. And when you find those people, no matter where your paths lead you, you hold on to that relationship for as long as you can. Because they will help you fight your evil wizards, show you that you are worthy, and ultimately make you feel seen and loved.
Oh my god! It's like a poor people's castle with no lumping waffles from a duck truck!
Now I'm covering the handle with that black duct tape I bought, leaving a hole to hot glue the gems on both sides. So maybe this isn't just a sword made out of foam. Maybe it's a reminder that the strongest things we carry through life aren't made of steel. They're made of the people who choose to walk beside us. Adventure Time was filled with magical swords, ancient heroes, and world-ending monsters. But when you really think about it, none of those things were what made the story special. It was Finn and Jake. It was Princess Bubblegum. It was best friends who kept choosing each other day after day. They laughed together, they fought, they annoyed each other, they saved each other, they grew up together. And no matter how strange the land of Oo became, they always knew they didn't have to face it alone. I think that's what all of us are looking for. Not someone who's exactly like us. Someone who's willing to adventure with us. Someone who sees all the awkwardness, the flaws, the anxiety, the weird hobbies, the obscure obsessions, the projects that make absolutely no sense to anyone else and say, yeah, I'm in.
Let's use this opportunity to catch up.
I love ketchup. Did you make it yourself?
Oh no.
Now I'm hot gluing in the gems with a low temp hot glue gun. Sometimes life gets heavy. We all fight battles nobody else can see. Sometimes all it takes is one person beside you to remind you that you don't have to carry it alone. I spent years wondering if I was too weird. While yes, I am a bit of a weirdo, I found other weirdos, or weirdo sympathizers, that remind me that being different should be celebrated. That this world would be mundane if all of us were the same. Because that's the real treasure, not legendary swords, not magical artifacts, people who will show up at the drop of a hat to get you through your darkest or happiest of days. When you need help on something that seems overwhelming, a friend has got your back, ready to get bruises and cut up with you, helping you problem solve, or just being there to pick you up when you fall.
I'm going to take it from you while you sleep.
Last, I made the handle wrap out of gray duct tape, taping it on itself. So if you found even one Jake in your life, or Princess Bubblegum, or a number of other amazing characters in that show, someone who makes the world a little less scary, someone who stood beside you through your own battles, don't wait to tell them how much they mean to you, because one day the swords will hang on the wall. The projects gather dust, but the memories that you made, the laughter, the adventure, those last forever. In the end, it was never about the sword. It was always about who was standing beside you while you carried it. Thank you, Brandy, for being my Princess Bubblegum, my ride or die, keeping me in check for the past 30 years, and building a kingdom with me that we can be proud of. You'll be forever my inspiration to keep pushing, to keep showing up, and continually trying to be the man you deserve beside you. Thank you, Ryan, for being my Jake, my sister from another mister, the one who supports my crazy. Thank you for pushing me out of my comfort zone and for helping me get through some of the most difficult times in my life. Wherever our paths lead, we'll always have side quests together. To Bedry, Florence, Skeef, Ellerby, the Johnsons, the Ives, and countless other people that I've worked with, or people that I've been friends with, you are the people in the land of Ooh who've helped me become a better version of myself. Friends watching right now, you've saved me the past couple of years from sinking within myself into despair, and kept my creative and happiness afloat in a world full of chaos. Thank you, friends. Now go tell yours how much you care about them. They may need it, and a big hug for support.
And we are finished. Here is the end result. Overall, I think it turned out pretty cool. I did end up having to use something for the jewels, and it just so happened when I went to get black duct tape, I found these like curtain rod holder thingies for like a shower curtain, and it just kind of fit perfectly into the size and what I needed here. And it would have been nice to have some gold duct tape, but all I had was the metal one, so spray painting it, I don't know how well this is going to hold on long term, but it is what it is. And this sword is ridiculously light. Like, it may weigh a couple of ounces. So yeah. Maybe you will try and make one of these yourselves and impress your friends with your ability to pull something from one of your favorite cartoons and bring it into the real world and go on some adventures together. Maybe you'll get some.
It's fine. She'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine.
And inevitably, they're going to ask you, how'd you make that? Give them one of these. Tell them, much props. It is a weapon. It is coming at you. Enjoy.
Yeah.
If you enjoy what I do here on YouTube and you want to see more builds like this one, please consider joining these awesome people listed here with me over on my Patreon to build a bigger, better, more creative community together.